Yes, KK ready?
Hello, everyone, and a very good morning to you all. Today, the 7th of August 2020, is the third day of our webinar series on Better World Framework. I, Cristel Luteño from Nagaland State, and my friend Saran Raj from Tamil Nadu, we will be the MC for today's webinar. Before we get on to the other things, this is for the information of everyone watching live and vice versa, that one delegate from each state are present here as attendees along with the panelists. And the rest other members will be participating in this webinar from the official YouTube channel of the Bharat Scout and Guide India. I also take this privilege to extend our hearty welcome to all the viewers in YouTube channel of BSG India. And I also fervently request all of you to invite at least 5 friends of yours to join in the webinar through the YouTube channel of the BSG India. Let us all be active. Use the question and answer chat button of the webinar and also up the queries in the YouTube live chat. Our team members will collect the relevant questions and share with our speakers. Today is going to be a great day for all of us. We have in our presence Ms. Cynthia Marquez, Senior Manager, Educational Initiative and OP Network, World Scout Brew, Global Sport Center, Kuala Lumpur, Malaysia. And she will be delivering the session on a very interesting topic, Champion for Nature Challenge, Pandabech, and Earth Tribe Initiative. So everyone, let's gear up for the session. Take up a notepad and a pen if you're a fast hand. Get ready to screenshot your screen and find the best location for your mobile networks so that you will not miss out any valuable sessions being given out from our resources. Now, without further ado, delay, let us begin our day with the Bharat Scout prayer. I request everyone to rise up on our feet for the BSG prayer. We will start in a second.
दया कर दान भक्ति का हमें परमात्मा देना दया करना हमारी आत्मा में शुद्धता देना हमारे की गंगा दिलों में प्रेम का सागर हमें आपस में मिलजुल कर प्रभु रहना सिखा देना हमारा कर्म हो सेवा हमारा धर्म हो सेवा सदा ईमान हो सेवा वो सेवक चल बना देना वतन के वास्ते जीना वतन के वास्ते मरना वतन पर जान फिदा करना प्रभु हमको सिखा देना दया कर ज्ञान भक्ति का हमें परमात्मा देना दया करना हमारी आत्मा में शुद्धता देना
Thank you, everyone. Now, before start of our session, let me take this privilege of requesting the director of Bharat India, Sri R.K. Sir, to welcome our guest or speaker, Ms. Cynthia Moyes, and other dignitaries present. Sir, Sirji, please admit it.
Thank you, TK. On the behalf of Bharat Guides National Quarter and on the behalf of our Chief National Commissioner, Dr. P.K. Khandelwal, I welcome Cynthia, the Senior Manager of Body Scout Bureau. Really, we are very happy to see you that in our this better word framework webinar, and we hope that with your presence and with your message to our youth, definitely they will get some new knowledge. And your topic is also good. I'm not going to announce the topic. Let you only introduce in your own style about the topic of today's your session. But we welcome you in this webinar, and we hope that such type of cooperation from the World Scout Bureau will continue. And now this type of program continuously the Bharat Guide will do. And yesterday already I informed what we have done in the Bharat Guides in regard to the virtual program for the youth as well as for the adult also. And now this series will continue till the corona is there, and not only till corona is there, even after corona also, our such type of virtual program will now continue because it is giving a good rapport in the our youth community, and they are liking such type of program. So once again, welcome to you, and welcome to all the other officials. Our Deputy International Commissioner, Mr. Madhu, is also there, who is supporting us in all respect. So welcome, Mr. Madhu, and all the my colleagues and anchors, today's anchor, Katie, and all the participants who are on YouTube or who are in as a delegate in our this webinar. So we hope that all of you will enjoy the session of Cynthia, who is expert in that particular subject. So once again, welcome to you. And now I hand over the webinar to the Master of Ceremony, Katie.
Thank you, Kaushik Saji, for the warm, hearty welcome to our guest speaker. Everyone on screen, watching live and on the webinar, supportedly stand by you, welcoming our guest speaker once again. Thank you, sir, the director of the Bharat Scout and Guide. Now, one of the most anticipated moment has arrived for everyone present here and those who are live on YouTube, that main part of the program, the session has arrived. For that, May I request our Deputy Director, Boy Program of Bharat Scout and Guide India, Sir Amar B. Chetri, to give a brief information about the webinar and start today's session. Amar sir, please, you may take the time. Amar sir. Okay, if Sir Amar sir is not online now, may I request Sir Analendra Sarma, the Assistant Director of the Northeast region, to kindly go ahead and introduce a little bit information about the webinar and start today's session. Sir, please.
Okay. Already our Honorable Director, Bharat Scout and Guide, told about the webinar. This is the webinar for Better World Frameworks. With a 8 days program, we try to cover all the topic of Better World Frameworks, and with the support of UDOM API region, we are getting the resource speaker who are the master of this all topics. So today we have with us Cynthia ma'am from Global Support Center. So without taking any more time, I hand over to Cynthia madam to lead this plenary session. Over to Cynthia ma'am.
Thank you very much, Adner, and thank you very much to all the authorities that are here with us and for Bharat Scouts and Guides to create this space for us to talk more about the Earth Tribe and the Better World Framework and Champions for Nature. I also want to thank all the ones who are joining the YouTube channel, and I will try to keep up with the messages. You can use the chat for your questions, for your comments, and you can also raise your hand. So for the ones who are on Zoom, I want to know if you can raise your hand, and to raise your hand now for me to see that you are able to in case we need to talk with you.
That's why.
And for the other ones, if you can write on the chat, where are you from? I am very fond of India and I'm very fond of Bharat Scouts and Guide, but I would like to know in what city are you currently from all the different parts that you are visiting us while we set up on what we have today. You will need through our session your smartphone because we will be using Slido. Chennai, thank you. Bangalore, great, good to see that. You will need pen, you will need some paper, and we will try to do some exercise and be interactive. I understand you are scout leaders in the scout groups in different provinces, leaderships, and guess what? This is exactly what we need to keep our planet healthy and to keep a big community that we are having on Earth Tribe. I also want to invite, it will be exchanging also with me, Mr. Madhusudan Abala. He has been a contributor of the Better World Framework development for the past more than 5 years. And he has contributed also with his knowledge, with the field work that he does on the Champions for Nature, Earth Tribe, and Better World Framework. So thank you very much all for being here. Let's go first. I need you to take a pen and I need you to take a paper and write down one word. Why do you feel compelled or inspired to protect our planet? And while you do that, I will start sharing my screen. Here we go. So what inspires you to take action for your planet? What inspired you to protect nature? If you can write it down now, if you are in YouTube, you can also do the same. And once you are done, I want to see your video on Zoom and show us the paper. Why are you inspired to protect the planet? So if you can show us your video and the paper that you are writing down, what inspires you to protect the planet? I want to see what is inspiring. You can also write it on the chat. What is inspiring you to protect the planet? For me, it's about we don't have another planet. This is our only planet. And I see different cities coming in the chat on YouTube channel. So on the YouTube channel, can you tell us what is inspiring you to protect the planet? Lokesh is saying, because it's our duty as scouts. Yes, that's very true. It's one of our duties to protect our planet, to protect our house, to protect our city, to live peacefully. That's very right, because at the moment we see more and more conflicts rising because of environmental resources, because some species are feeling threatened, because humans feel that the species are coming into the space when in fact we are coming into nature's space because we want to have a healthy tomorrow. That's great. The only planet on the solar system we are humans alive. Yes, that's also coming in our chat and in YouTube. It's coming. It's a social responsibility. It's our planet. It's our home. We live on Earth planet. Is our motherly planet. And that's right. And that's the reason why we are here today. And I thank you all for being here, because this is really important for us to understand. We need to find an inspiration, not only to take action, but because this planet is our home. And that's the one and main reason why we need to take care of it. But also because it's our duty as a scouts, but also it's our duty to bring this message to all the non-scouts that are outside in the world. So if someone from the audience can tell me, or maybe Madhu or someone, authorities from Bharat Scouts and Guide can tell us how many scouts are in India and how much, well, how big is the population of India and what is the contrast there? Can someone help me that? How many
We
scouts
have
are in India?
6 million scouts in India.
How many, Madhu?
6.
6 million.
6 million in
That's
India.
an amazing
and that makes
number.
only 2% of the youth population.
And it's only 2% of the youth population. Madhu, how do you feel about that?
We feel we have to grow.
We need to grow. And our duty is not only to take action for our planet, but also to bring this message to all the rest of young people in India. Because guess what? We want to create a big community, which is the Earth Tribe. And many of you might be asking, where did we come out with the name? What is this tribe about? Some might find the word tribe a little bit curious and tricky and understanding. YouTube viewers are telling me 6 million scouts, 1.34 million around in one of the cities. This is amazing. So Earth Tribe, maybe you want to know, what do we mean by a tribe? What do we really mean by a tribe? First of all, when we talk about Earth Tribe, we are meaning one global community. And one global community that is sharing values, that is sharing this desire to protect our planet. But this community is not only about us. We want this global community to be led by scouts, but we want a community that involves all young people in your country. And if you have an international friend or network of friends, we want you also to involve your international friends into this community. We want you to involve your family into this community, because it's the community that is living in this planet. we want you to share the values of this tribe. We want you to share the actions that you are doing. Or we want you to invite them to take action with you. Otherwise, with 2% of the people in India, the effort will be bigger and it might not be sustainable. So we mean a global community when we are talking about Earth Drive. But we also mean that we want to take the values of our original people in different countries, in different parts of the world. There are people that were the very original people from our countries, that were the natives of some cities, some ethnicities, different people. But we want to take the values of our elders, the values of protecting our planet and protecting our people, the value of respect, respect of the species, respect of the animals, respect of the communities, this sense of unity, but not a unity among humans, the sense of unity among humans and nature and forest and oceans, because we are all one. It's not that we are humans and that we are separated from all these natural resources. We are actually one and we are part of one system. And this is how we need to keep that sense of unity, but also a sense of how I can identify myself with nature. So again, in the chat and in the comments, if you can share with me what element of nature you identify yourself. Do you identify yourself with a forest? Do you identify yourself with ocean, with one species of animal kingdom? Do you identify with, like, for example, I identify myself with dolphins. I admire dolphins very much because I believe that they are very smart. I will try to be as smart as a dolphin. They are very wise and they are intuitive, and that inspires me. I would like to be like them, and I identified with that. I will also identify myself with water because I would like to stay flexible and flow and not being constrained. And we Scout also find a lot of inspiration in nature for our spiritual development. And we would like you to take that as well. And also we want to find inspiration on the value of being sustainable. The way of life that we are having now is not necessarily bringing us to a happy ending because, as you know, the level and the amount of resources that we consume, our planet will be ending the resources. If we make a 1 year of resources that the planet can produce, by the month of August, we will have used all of them. And then we start taking loans of the different natural resources that we have. So we are over consuming in so many different ways. Some are saying that they identify with tortoise, with trees, love nature, plant the ocean. So this is why we want you to come back to the elders, to their philosophy of respecting nature. We want you to come back to nature and feel and observe what is around you. How do you feel in nature? What do you feel in terms of spiritual development? What brings nature to you besides of all the resources that we want? With Thrive, we also mean that we want to mobilize people, that we want to take them for action, that we want them to move with us. If we are on a movement, we don't want to move only among ourselves. We want to move our communities. And to make that possible, we need to invite more people to our community. And this is why we came out with the name of Earth Drive, because we want to invite other people to this community. So who do you think we can invite to this community? Who should be part of this Earth Drive community and be champions for nature with us? I have some ideas and I can share some with you. but you can tell me more also. Some elements that we will consider in building up this community for Champions for Nature, but also for Earth Tribe, is that for this community, we need to have individuals. We need to have individuals, scouts, young people, entrepreneurs, government leaders, private enterprise leaders. We want to have them as individuals, inspired, ready to take action. But we also need to have, and we want to offer them, some learning paths or some action paths where they can support us. We need to have for this community, especially for young people, some educational objectives, some learning. And we want to have some activities and projects with them, and we want to recognize their effort and have them to walk together with us. So on these elements, let's explore the first ones, the individuals. If I look at all your faces, if I see all your comments, I would like you to find your inspiration among the tribe. So the same will happen with young people. We want young people to start finding what can inspire them to protect the planet. But for them to find this inspiration, they need someone to ask them the question. And that's where scouts can help on that. We can ask our scouts, what inspires you to protect your planet? But we need to ask more young people. And as an organization, as a scout group, as an adult leader, I can also ask other adults. I can also ask other enterprises, civil society. We should be asking the people, what inspires you to protect your planet? Because we also should be asking them, what do you mean by harming your planet? We need to come with those questions, even if sometimes they are difficult. Otherwise, people will never reflect the impact and the negative impact we are having in our planet. So we want young people to move from this sense of what inspires you to what can we do together? What can we do as a community, as an Earth Tribe global community? We need the National Scout Organization, the Scout Group, the adult leader, to bring these questions to local businesses, educational institutions, local governments, donors, other NGOs that work with you. We need you to bring these questions too. And you can put some names of people or organizations that you think now on the top of your mind. Who would I go and ask the question next week? If I can talk with someone next week about Earth Tribe and Champions for Nature, who I will go and ask this question? Who will I go and invite them? Would you like to help me protect the planet? Some people are saying, I'm in. Okay, I'm happy that many of you are in already. Who would you like to ask? Your family, the teachers in your community, colleagues in the university, colleagues in your place of work? Who are you talking with about Earth Tribe, about the planet, about the efforts that you are doing for environment? So when we talk about this and with other people, what we are actually driving, and this is good that some of you are mentioning educational institutions, because it's important that we partner with them and that make them our allies into this effort. So when we talk with them, what's happening is that unconsciously, I start becoming a leader. I start mobilizing their minds. And this is the first step to mobilize them into stronger actions. Some people in the YouTube channel are saying, I will talk with my mates. I will talk with the teachers. Some are saying some names. Great idea to reach more people. That's great. The schools, the youngsters, that's very good. Yes, we need to reach out to all. We need to share this material with everybody. When you start talking about this, you start activating your leadership skills. You start activating the other people's minds. You also start activating your organization, your scout group, your council, your district. And we need to be ready, because when we start talking about it and we will start sharing, we might activate a lot of support and a lot of help. And we need to be ready to take action. When we start talking about it, also the community reacts and they start sharing with us what might they be their needs. And we can start working together with the communities, doing community assessments. These are more questions that we need to come. What do you need? How can we help in the problem? How can we bring a solution together? And a solution that is not only for humans. This is very important for Champions for Nature. We are not aiming for bringing a solution in the community that is only for humans. Will that be right? To bring a solution only for humans? Or do we need to involve other beneficiaries into the solutions that we create through Champions for Nature? What does the public think? Can we be champions for nature and bring solutions only for humans? Start from home first, they say. Some say no, it's not only from humans. So who are other beneficiaries of Champions for Nature actions that we will start taking from now? Who are other beneficiaries of that? And you are mentioning here garbage management. Everyone should be involved, yes. Every living being, yes, all people as society. But every living being means that we also need to bring benefits to species, to our tigers, to our elephants, to our oceans, to our forests, because they don't have a voice. All our natural resources and the richness that we have doesn't have a voice. And Champions for Nature, all of you leaders, all of our young people can be the voice of all these species that are being threatened, of all our forests that are being lost, of all our oceans and rivers that are being polluted. We are called through the Earth Drive to be the voice of all these natural resources that we are losing. We need to mobilize our resources, our people, our enterprises, any funds that we can get to support these projects on environmental action. We need to monitor and evaluate so that we can provide evidence that our actions are really having a relevant impact. And we need to start sharing this impact with other people so that they can keep on going, supporting young people's initiatives. So if you have any question, you can put them on the chat. We will have a section of questions, but you can start putting the questions there on the chat or in the YouTube channel. So at the moment, I will ask you if you can think together, and the ones who are joining us in Zoom, you will see an option of annotate. If you open your different options and add more, and you will see an annotate, and I would like you to write down, what do you think you need at the moment to activate your community, to activate young people, to activate other enterprises? If you are on YouTube, please leave it on the chat. What do you think you need to activate this community, to invite people to become champions for nature, to invite people to become part of this drive? What do you need for us? What do you need? Support from parents. And I will be writing down some comments that are coming from the chats. Support from parents. Yes. Integrated activities. Yes, okay. And if you find the annotation option on your Zoom, you can write some ideas yourself in the white space. Awareness, great. Who can bring awareness to our communities? You can bring awareness to our communities. Social media, it's also useful. Yes, we can use social media and the power of social media to mobilize. Willpower, that's very true. If we don't start to do something now, we will never do it. Myself as a role model, we need to be role models. That's very true. Proper communication. Yes, also communication tools. And I'm looking at different screens if you see me that I'm moving away. Always happy. First, they should be service-minded, funds. If you can come with other ideas, also motivate our troop scouts. Yes. And you are very fast. I like all these fast ideas coming in. Attitude. Yes. Great. Work together. That's true. Thank you. Proper working. Thank you very much. Thank you for all your ideas. And we are taking note on this of what you are expressing here. Accountability, that's very important here. Accountability, because the more people trust in us, the more they see what we are doing, the more they see that we are using a wise use of the funds, the more they will trust in us, the more they will support us. Coordination, that's true. That's very true. Okay, I will move on. I thank you all for these ideas. And let's go to the next. One moment here. Great. So another element, we have different learning paths. So Earth Tribe is offering 4 ways where young people and you can start taking action for the planet. And Champions for Nature is taking action in 2 main paths that people can work on and that you can invite young people to support. We can invite communities, NGOs, churches to support us into developing actions on better choices and on nature and biodiversity. Why do you think better choices is also related to Champions for Nature? What does our choices have to do with protecting our planet? Is it really relevant, the choices that we make in our daily living to keep our planet and nature healthy? What is the effect of our choices in nature so far? What is the effect of what we do every day, how we consume? What is the effect of that on nature, on forest, on species, on our water? What is the effect of that? We are connecting the learning paths with different sustainable development goals. Yes, the effects of what we do is that our oceans are getting polluted. That's very true. We are connecting our paths with different sustainable development goals so that we can focus the learning and the learning opportunities that we are offering to young people, and that we can make our young people aware that you are working for these goals and you are contributing to achieve these goals while you are doing your work. So we will work through Champions for Nature in our choices, and also in understanding how nature, biodiversity is suffering or have a negative effect of the choices that we have, but how we can also change our choices on that. So what are the environmental issues that are affecting your city and your country? And for that, I will invite you to use your smartphone, put the camera on this QR code so that you can join us in telling me what are the environmental issues affecting nature and affecting our choices that are present in your city now and in your country. If you can see the QR code, please use your phone, check on the QR code, and let's go to see what are your choices? What are some environmental issues affecting your cities and your countries? And you can start adding some of the words, some of the questions that come to your mind. Are some species being threatened in your city? Is food Are you suffering of scarcity of food in your country, in your city? Maybe not much rain. Maybe there's air pollution. Maybe there's the forest is disappearing. So pollution is one coming in. You can also add them on the chat. Pollution and a huge amount of population. Yes, and population is also about choices. Air and water and voice pollution, the sound pollution, deforestation. And you can see how people are voting on the options. Expensive resources, missing birds. Yes, and when one species gets lost, that means that something in our system stops working. This is like the human body. If one of our organs stops working, that means that all our body will be suffering. There's a solar challenge also. There's plastic challenge. But what are the effects or what is affecting your city? Plastic is coming out as a big thing. Air pollution, it's coming as a big thing in majority of you. Water, industrial waste, dump in the sea, global warming, cut off the trees, plastic in water, unconditional production, animals enter villages. That's very interesting because do we consider that humans enter nature as a problem? And I think we humans should be considering that the fact that the animals are coming into our villages is because we have come into their space. And we need to find a way to coexist without affecting each other, without harming each other. And here is where scouts can be key in bringing this awareness to our villages and our communities. How we can help our communities understand how to deal with species, how to deal with animals and elephants and tigers, and how we can also respect their space by staying safe. So thank you very much for all the words and ideas that are coming. There's one issue on environment mentioned as human beings, and we need to acknowledge that. We need to acknowledge that the most harmful effect on nature at the moment are humans. And humans create pollution, the plastic, deforestation, and the overconsumption that we all have. And all the issues that we are putting on the YouTube channel are all produced by humans. We need to reach that awareness and acknowledge and take responsibility of that so that we can start taking action in the other direction. Thank you for who are sharing here. This is very interesting, and I'm taking a screenshot of that. Let's move on for next topics. Another element that we are considering is that for these young people to be part of our tribe, we want them to help. We want them to develop some skills that can help them to be strong leaders, to be a voice in the community, to mobilize people, but above all, to be a person that brings sustainable development to this planet. When each of your scouts and when each of our young people that talk with us start realizing this, starts developing skills, that means that in the future, in the coming years, this person, by having a different attitude towards nature, it's bringing sustainable development into the city, is bringing new ideas, is bringing a new way of behaving, a new way of life. So how do we do this? We said that we want young people to be aware. First, that's the first step. And we understand that now we are all living in very quite challenging situation, some on lockdown, some not being able to travel too much or activate. But this is a time to be aware, to understand how nature is affected by us. How can I take different choices to do this? How can I have different behaviors and different habits? This is a time to be aware. This is also a time, even virtually, how we can start cooperating, because we can have similar webinars like this with our community members, with the local enterprises, with small businesses, with the elders, with the local leaders, and talk about, okay, what can we do together? How can we start cooperating for our planet? So that when the time to act comes, when the time that we can go out finally, because we are again on a safe space, when the time to go and act, we are ready. We got together new partners, we start understanding what to do, we start planning, what can we do, different actions. This is a good time to be aware, bring awareness to other cities, bring awareness virtually to different scouts, young people, because the moment we can take action, then we will be more. We will be already coordinated. We started to cooperate even before that. For you, some resources that we have is that we have defined different learning objectives, and you can find the different learning objectives through the Earth Tribe website, and each objective helps you identify what does it mean to be a champion for nature. And we have learning objectives from 7 years to 10 years to 15 and above, and how you can be an advocate for better choices as well. And all of this is in the manuals for Champions for Nature and in the action kit. And the learning objectives help us to find and offer 2 strong identities for young people: how you can be an advocate for better choices and how you can be a champion for nature. And both are recognized by the Champions for Nature Challenge Lab at the moment. So can you tell me on the chat, which one would you like to pick? Would you like to be an advocate for better choices, or would you like to be a champion for nature? And we can see on the chat that some people would like to be a champion for nature. Others, we need also advocates for a different kind of behavior, advocates to stop consuming single plastics, advocates to start polluting our water. There we go, we have some advocates coming in. We need champions to understand that our species needs some space, need to be safe, how we can protect our agricultural work, but also how can we still keep a safe space without harming tigers, without harming animals that are coming to our food. Because all of us need food. They also need food, and they are also part of the cycle. So some of you can be champions for nature. Young people can also be champions for nature, and others can be advocates. We want to offer them a strong identity and a unique identity based on what they would like to do. So now we move to the activities. And what do we mean by activities? We mean that based on the learning objectives that we are offering to them, based on the learning objectives, and based on being aware, cooperate, and act, we can find activities that we can do online. We can find activities that we can start doing with others. And then we can start designing projects together that will bring us as one tribe and one community taking action for the planet. So if we do that, I know many of our viewers in the YouTube channel cannot do breakout rooms, and I will ask our host. I see that we have 50 participants, and if you can bring us to breakout rooms of 3 or 4 and think together and talk together. What are the activities that you are already doing as part of your program in relation with better choices and in relation with protecting nature? What activities are you doing, or what activities can you do? And I would like you to share, if you have the chance, you can explore earthtribe.scout.org. You can see it, and you can see that we can go there for Champions for Nature. And if you are able to, I want you to go to the implementation manual on page 17 and 18. And I want you to see what are these objectives that we are offering there in that manual. And I want you to talk together on what could be one activity that you can propose for your young people. Where are we? Yes. Here you go, the objectives. Page 17 and 18. Is our host able to put us in breakout rooms of 5 people?
Dhanraj, can you open the breakout rooms?
I will stay here so we can talk with our YouTube viewers, but if you can send everybody else to the breakout rooms, five people randomly, and if you can check on the manual and think together, or from the programs that you already do every week, what are activities that you are already doing to contribute young people to be aware of better choices and to protect nature? Is it possible?
I think they are having difficulty in making the breakout rooms.
Okay, let's move on then. So if we are now, if you can use the chat, and if you can see on the learning objectives, can you share with me activities that you are already doing that can help us to have better choices? I will wait for your comments on the chat, and I'm looking at the comments on YouTube. So I will be reading some of the activities, and I would like to bring some people and to tell us briefly what activities are you doing now that could be part already of Champions for Nature. If you raise your hand, we will be able to bring you and talk with us just a little bit, if you agree. I have 2 attendees that are raising their hand. Let me see. Plastic tie turners. Yes, that's one. And you are doing that already. That's great. Tree plantation, are they saying in the YouTube channel? That's very good. What other activities are we doing apart from tree plantation? Or if you have ideas or suggestions, what we can do to start working to be advocates for better choices or champions for nature? Avoid plastic, yes. Completed the plastic tie turners. Collection of garbage is in our chat on Zoom. Yes, make bird feeders. That's very good. Plantation and recycling things. So, okay, what things? E-waste management. That's very interesting. What do we mean by e-waste management? Avoid single-use plastic, yes. Conducting rallies, yes. So can we think more outside of the box? I see something good here. Rain harvesting. That's very true. This is about collecting the water from the rain and not using that resource that we have. I would like you to tell me things that we are not doing yet that can help young people to be champions for nature and advocates for better choices. Electronic gadget wastage. Yes. Less uses of paper. That's true. Proper disposal of waste. That's true. Giving food to animals. I've seen a lot of action in India for that. Thank you all, because animals are our brothers in nature. Kitchen gardens. That's true. That's very good for champions for nature and advocate for better choices. Medicines. What do you mean by medicines? Using solar energy, maintain room garden, dealing nuclear pollution. Yes, that's true, but maybe we cannot go there yet, but think on other things that we can do as scouts and that we can invite young people. Nature walk, excellent. Do you know where does your food come from? The food that you are eating at noon in the meal, do you know where it comes from? Who planted it? How much time does it take to be planted? How much time does it take from when it was planted to your table? How much does it cost? Do we have that awareness to appreciate? Or we think that it's just easy to go supermarket and pick it up, go to the market and pick it up? How to farm? Yes, recycle of good clothes. That's very true. All of those things we can do together, and we need to start doing or bring awareness among those. So, moving on to that, another element is the time for recognition, because if we are doing so many good actions, we need to recognize and celebrate. Here we are having more ideas: promote stainless steel appliances, maintain awareness, avoid plastic, distributing solar plate among tribals. That's very true. And in India, there are many communities and there are many tribes, and that they will be happy to welcome you and bring some different ideas, and that you could get ideas from them on how it's better to address these issues with nature. And you can recognize them. So, how do you get your recognition of champions for nature? Either as an advocate for better choices or as a champion for nature. First, all young people can do a self-assessment, and the self-assessment tools, you will find them in the Earth Tribe Action Kit and the Implementation Manual. All young people can find this. And the self-assessment is right there on the Action Kit for young people. This is on the first elements that you can find, and the NSO can support on that. First is understanding. What do I know? What do I do with my options, with my waste, with the behavior that I have? Then we need you, adult leaders, to help them make a personal plan. Because if I do my self-assessment, probably I will have different ways of being aware of nature and different behavior. And our friend Ruby here, and our friend Bharat, our friend Nova here at night, they might have different ways of behavior, and they need a personal, individual plan on how they will become advocates and how they will become champions. So once your scouts and young people can do the personal plan, individual plan, then they will incorporate in their plan, I will learn this, I will do this, and I will develop these attitudes. On this plan, there are actions, and I will develop one community project. So you did your plan, and now it's time to start doing your actions, learning different things, cooperating with the community with the project, and start executing the project. Once the project has done, then it means that you can earn the Champions for Nature badge. Either if you chose to do better choices option, or if you did the Champions for Nature option. These are two different ways to acquire it. And there's time for celebration and recognition. And then you become member of a tribe. When you complete your first challenge, when you complete Champions for Nature, you can be a member of the Earth Tribe, and it's time to recognize young people's effort. They don't have to be scouts. If a young person from schools come to us, they come with a project, they want to make the Earth Tribe Challenge, they want to be champions for nature. They cannot be scouts yet. Do we tell them no? Do we tell them that they have to be scouts to be a champion for nature? That they have to be scouts to be an Earth Tribe? Is that what we are going to do? Will that make our community grow? This is a question for all our adults. No, exactly. Even if they are not scouts and they come to us, I want to do this project for nature. I want to take action for environment. We welcome them. We help them to go through the path. because we want them to be part of this Earth Tribe community. We want them to engage and commit with this brotherhood, sisterhood, protecting our planet. We say them, yes, we will help you. I will help you to go through the Champions for Nature. I will help you to go through your Better Choices activities. We support them. Most probably, because you are supporting them, you can talk about scouting. They will see how kind you are with them. They will see the support that you are providing. And most probably, they will come and join scouting. And that's a double gain for us because they are protecting the planet. They are joining the Earth Tribe community, but they are also joining our community, and that brings more people to our tribe. So what age can young people take the Champions for Nature challenge? They can take this challenge from 7 to 10 years. All our cubs are invited from 11 to 14 years old, and from 15 and above, they can all be working and earning the badge for being a champion for nature. They can pick 2 paths. They can be better choices, advocates, and they can be champions for nature as well. And you have many toolboxes for that to work together. We have the WhatsApp services where there's a lot of resources you can find. We have the action kit that we were showing you here. This is for young people, and you can find different activities for that here. And we can find the Earth Tribe website, that this is where you can find material for Champions for Nature. You can also pick up, and young people can pick and make a quiz. What is the path that they can take? But today we are talking about Champions for Nature. So, but they can take and pick what path they can take. And also we have manuals and action kits and activities. So I have getting some ideas here. 3 R's: recycle, reduce, and reuse. Action on single-use plastic, great, yes. Recycle is a very important thing for our society, great. So now we will open for questions and answers if you have any. How can Champions for Nature be implemented in your city or in your community? Maybe you have ideas for us, how we can improve and make this community grow. So we are opening the floor for questions. Maru, maybe we can ask questions to our audience.
Yes, we can do that. Yeah. You have any questions? It is the time for you to ask the question. आगे अगर आपका पास कुछ प्रश्न हैं,
I see questions coming on YouTube,
करना है,
but they are very fast. So if someone from our host team can help us to capture all these questions.
I request our team on the social media to bring those questions from YouTube onto the Q&A button so that we'll be able to answer those questions.
So here is one question from our Zoom. How to design new ways to improve our Earth Tribe initiative? So if you are at the national level, our invitations for you is to identify, as we did, what are the issues affecting the country. And this, because on Bharat Scouts Guide, Madhu, correct me if I'm wrong, you are organized in provinces and then districts and then Scouts groups?
Yes, national, state, district, and local.
Okay. So first, the invitation is that in national, you can identify what are the main issues that are common in all the different states and districts. But that's an exercise because you are very localized and you are very big, that you can also do this exercise at the state level and the district level for you to identify what are the actions that you want to take, how your Champions for Nature can focus on that, or in the case of Earth Tribe, with what of the elements of Earth Tribe you would like to start. But you need to start from the analysis of what are the issues affecting the city, the state, so that you can focus your resources. Once you identify, you can decide which one to start implementing first. Because today we are talking about Champions for Nature, that has been our focus. But if you are talking about the different elements that Champions for Nature, plastic pollution, and Scouts Go Solar, you can also decide, okay, the most relevant issue here is plastic, or the most relevant issue in my city is about protecting some species. And then different people will start in different way. Other question, can children of age 14 participate in the webinar? Well, the way we are talking here might not be the nicest way for young people, but if you are an adult leader listening to this webinar now, then you can bring this knowledge and make a more creative, more interactive way of a webinar for your young people and your scouts. I know many of you are having these meetings with your scouts virtually during the weekend. So you can have this conversation with them and make it like a bit of more friendly. You can share with them the quiz and invite them to do the quiz. That's a very interactive way to do, to help them explore this way. You can share with them the action kit and some of the activities. And we have scouting from home activities also that you can use. How to join the challenge and how do I earn the badge, madam? Okay. The National Scout Organizations is the one making the efforts now to make implementation. Probably they will be producing badges and they will indicate you the best way how you can reach out. But if you want to start taking action, you can go to earththrivescout.org. Let's see, earththrive.scout.org, and you can get the action kit, start exploring the action kit, and you can start implementing the activities this weekend, this week. Some activities you can do it from home, and this is one way to start, and you can start having this conversation with young people. I'm a cup master and I help us in the national headquarters. Thank you, Arup Kumar. Thank you very much for your support. Are we able to service this pandemic during this pandemic situation? I encourage you first to stay safe above all. Safety of you and your scouts is the first duty that we have now. So, if you remember, we had 3 steps: be aware, cooperate, and act. The first thing is to be aware. So what you can focus right now is in being aware, bringing awareness virtually, bringing awareness by talking. If in your city, you can start gathering together with the people that you know, with the social distancing, you can start talking about this, doing self-assessment, helping young people to do their personal plan on how they will achieve the badge, so that they can start being ready when the things get better in your city. That will be my suggestion at the moment. We have questions on how can I get the Panda badge and how can I join the challenge? We answered this question already. What are the tasks to do? You can find different activities in the action kit, but the activities in the action kit are not the only ones. Many of the ones that you were mentioning are also good and could be part of the completing the Champions for Nature, because different people can do different activities. What we want you to focus is in the learning objectives and developing the attitudes and developing the knowledge. After the completion of the project, where we have to submit the reports on how do I get the Earth Drive pin. So this is an answer that the national headquarters will organize for you. Where do you need to submit? In principle, the adult leader in the Scout group needs to be aware who is completing their challenges. And I imagine that your national team, your Scout group leaders talk with the state, with the districts, and then with the states. Our ideal scenario is that you can decentralize and have this badge available for as much as adult leaders can do, so they can present the badges to the different young people. But this should be under the regulation, of course, and the systems that the National Scout Organization is already having, which is Para Scouts and Guides. So normally, if the Barrett Scouts and Guide can have the badges and the pins available for adult leaders to have them and present them to young people, that would be ideal scenario. As much as possible, we want this to be decentralized. There's another question, if there's any funds is recognized for work on it. You can always go as an adult leader, as a young person, you can always go to the Scout Donation platform, present your project, may say that this is about different Champions for Nature or Earth Tribe, and start raising funds and crowdfunding. Scout Donation platform is supporting different projects. You can also present your ideas to the local enterprises, small businesses as well. Some of our partners are providing funds, and as we get those funds, we inform the national headquarters, and the national headquarters inform you. If you haven't received information, it's because at the moment there's nothing active on a particular area, but you can always come to the Scout Donation platform to get to apply for funds and crowdsource this. Can you go through the activities kit, please? Of course, we can go through the activity kit. So I will open it here so you can see what are the elements of the activity kit. So the activity kit has been designed trying to be friendly for young people. So we have first the different elements, what you can do. Our partner, WWF, has been supporting a lot in developing this content. They are experts, and national headquarters have contact with them, and a very good partnership between Barrett Scouts and Guide and WWF. Then there is explanation of what it's about being an advocate and a champion for nature. And you can find the process here. So what I have on my slide, you can have it on the kit. What is the process of self-assessment and how you get to complete the badge and then to complete the pin. And then after you complete the first challenge, you can always come back and keep on going, completing the others. The elements on the learning process, how you can do this, different explanation, the self-assessment. So here it is. This is what young people can do by themselves on the self-assessment, and also adults can support them on this. And there are one self-assessment from different ages. So there are different questions on identifying what are your needs. And then how to get hands-on is on the activities and on the community project. And here are some examples of activities. These are not the only activities that you will do. These are some examples, and I'm indicating you what SDG are you contributing to already, and different examples you can do from home. Others you need to go a little bit on nature, which we encourage you to go to nature only if it's safe and if you are taking the measure of social distancing. I hope I answered that question. You can find this on the Earth Tribe site on Champions for Nature. You can go click and brings you to the challenge and the information. And thank you, Manu, for sharing the link there. Let me see. What are the tasks to do? You can find them on the action kit. To initiate one program from tree plantation, you can take cooperation from the government. Yes, if that's possible, you can do that also there. How can a participant, non-Scouts, Indian in these activities? Well, you can start cooperating with your schools, with NGOs, with other youth organizations. You can ask other youth organizations if you can come and make a talk about the Earth Tribe and invite them. They can reach out to the manuals. They are online. We have designed them in a way that people who are reading don't feel that they have to be Scouts to understand this, so that they can also use it. If a school wants to take the manual and use it, they can also use it. And just stay in contact with your National Scout organization for any support, or with your district office or your district team. That's also something that you can do. Ma'am, are we go to stoppage of banned plastic products harmful to nature? Well, That's a good point. We can also get involved in different civil society organizations who are writing policy, who are taking decisions on the cities, and try to have an influence on stop using the plastic, or there have been big campaigns to stop using plastic bag on supermarkets, using cloth bags instead. But also there's a lot of marketing, banner production that we really don't need it and we shouldn't be producing. We should be more sustainable. And that's, I think we need to start by us and making the example. But we can talk with other organizations how they can also start doing and having different behavior on that. Thank you, Tanmidu, for sharing your story of planting 2,500 trees. This is very nice campaign. And I think this is one of the things that we can also do. Start sharing what we do, because then other people get ideas. And I hope we've answered all your questions. I see, Maru, that no more questions are coming on the Zoom chat. And we've tried to answer the questions on YouTube channel. We are not getting the answer, okay. Maybe
you on the Q&A button, Cynthia.
Sorry?
The Q&A button, we have
let's see. How is our tribe initiative, Panda Batch, different from Messengers of Peace? Okay, there are much similarities. What we are aiming for is that for people to make a self-assessment, make a personal progression, do community service. The difference is that in Messengers of Peace, we are focusing on culture of peace, dialogue, conflict resolution, community understanding. But I know that in many ways, throughout the years, a lot of environmental actions, which are also related to peace, have been inspired by Messengers of Peace. So in that case, there's not much difference. The Earth Tribe now is just having a focus on environment, and that will be the only difference. If you have done a project on Messengers of Peace, I encourage you to talk with your scout leader or with your district leader, how what you have done can be emulated, can be taken into consideration for your Champions for Nature on Earth Tribe recognitions. What is the duration to earn this badge? It will change from age to age, from person to person, but I think around 6 months to 1 year, depending on the age and the project, is possible to earn this badge. Again, this is a regulation that also the Bharat Scouts and Guide will define on what are the different requirements and activities, how you implement the kit, and how you use it within your own personal progression in Bharat Scouts and Guides. From YouTube, how we should deal with chemical and nuclear pollution as it's the most horrible from all pollution existing. Well, that's a good point. To do that, we also need experts, because we don't have that expertise. And this is also something that you could work through with the support of different organizations. I think this is not safe to just go by ourselves and deal with this issue. We need to be informed, be very well prepared, and understand what does this mean. And if Bharat Scouts and Guide can start conversations about it, well, that is great. I think that's the first step that you need to go through. Let me know a clear-cut difference between champions and advocates. So in Champions for Nature, you will be focusing more on species, endangered species of or forest or natural resources, where in Better Choices, you will be focusing on how to change behavior, how to help people in cities and urban settings to understand what the actions in urban settings are affecting nature. So you can act in different ways. In one is bringing awareness about nature, but in other is bringing awareness about how humans can change the way we do, the way we consume, the way we manage waste, etc. COVID actions we take to preserve our mother nature, madam. Well, I think there are two different topics at the moment, but for example, we know that a lot of the different diseases that sometimes jump from humans from animals to humans is because we are having an irrational way of consuming animals. So especially endangered species, sometimes it's because we are not treating them well. We are farming them just because we want to have more. And one way is to start raising awareness on how some animals that are almost disappearing from our countries, we shouldn't be consuming them anymore. And if there's one of the resources for food security and nutrition, then how we can learn how to substitute better our dietary habits, how we can learn from other ways to get all these nutrients in our diet. We also need to learn how to produce different things. How much does it cost to produce something, not just to take it for granted. So I will say COVID actions are more related to health than on nature at the moment, but that's some activities that you can take. So we are checking some comments here on Zoom. Current environmental threats, mostly induced by humans, impact the quality of life on Earth. Hope we have to individually and collectively take the change challenge now. Well, that's a good question. And I think we all need to be aware that the more we put pressure on nature, that will put pressure on food. If we also end up being without natural resources, we will end up being without food. If we don't take care of our forests, we will end up having a healthy air or water. And there will be more and more dry seasons, super hot climate. With super hot climate and weather, there's more floodings, there's less food again. It's just part of a cycle. What is the Seek app? The Seek app is one app produced by WWF that helps young people to have more awareness about nature, species, natural species. It's inviting you with some activities. So this is one of the things that you can use already now to start raising awareness about nature. If we have time, can you go through the Scouts Go Solar batch, ma'am? I'm not sure if we have time now for the host. And I hope we answer all your questions. I see some comments of questions not being answered. If you can put the question, your headquarters also are having a lot of knowledge on this and they are in contact with us. You have the resources online. And yes, Madu is sharing. There's another webinar on Scouts Go Solar next week. So there you go. You need to be online for this as well. Madu, I don't know if there's any other topic to cover. I would like to ask you all, how inspired do you feel now to be champions for nature or to be part of the Earth Track community? And if you want to tell us via Slido, and you can QR code this and tell us how ready do you feel to be part of the Earth Tribe community. How inspired or ready do you feel to bring this to your scouts, to young people in your city? Nishita, what is your answer? What is your question? Sorry. Yes, if you can clean the forest, that's very useful for this project. You can earn the Champions for Nature as well. Also, bring awareness about endangered species. Okay, friends, if, let's see, how is next? How ready do you feel? I think we are done with this. Madhu, this is all from my side.
No more questions?
No, I don't think so. Not new ones. Let's see. How to inspire our guides to complete this challenge. Just bring the information to them. Ask them the question. Ask the question, what can you do to protect the planet? What are the issues that you see in your community that you can help with? I think the first step is starting a conversation with young people, with your communities, with your adult leaders. This is the first step to bring this to where you are. And the more we bring this, the more we can start working on this.
Thank you, Cynthia. And it's over to the MC now.
Okay, well, it has been a pleasure to be with you, to be with the YouTube viewers, a very enthusiastic public. I'm confident that we have a very strong supporter and ally in Bharat Scouts and Guides. And thank you, Mr. Kaushik, because of all the support, and to Maru and all the fellow adult leaders that are listening today to bring this message more and beyond our frontiers, beyond scouting. I send you all my admiration and blessings for the work that you do, for all your volunteers and the contribution you do to their community.
Okay.
Thank you, Cynthia. Thank you very much. Over to Anand.
Thank you, Miss Cynthia Marquez, for your such a lovely presentation, face street-like presentation for everyone. I'm really inspired by your session, and I hope everyone watching on the webinar and live on YouTube will be inspired by the session. You have minutely and detailedly given all the inputs. So thank you, Ms. Cynthia, once again. Let us all smile for the session, since we learned so many things through this very short session of Ms. Cynthia. Let us all smile once. Okay. Let us all, with the new knowledge learned from the session, let us all fly. If we cannot fly, let us run. If we cannot run, let us walk. If you cannot walk, let us crawl. But whatever we do, let us not give up on scouting. Let us not give up on learning new things. Let us not give up on taking new challenges as we wait through this precious life on this precious earth planet. So with this, we have come to the ending part of our session. Now I hand over the time to our Sir Amar B. Chetri, Deputy Director, Boy Program of BSG India. Sir, you
KK,
may.
before Amarji takes over, we have an
Okay, sir.
inspiration from Cynthia how to share the ideas.
All right, all right.
She has
Okay,
inspired the Bharat Scouts and Guides right from 2013, how we
okay,
do
okay.
things,
And I
and
sing.
it's over
Okay,
to
thank
Cynthia
you,
how
ma'am.
to share the ideas.
Okay, but then we will need all of you to be silent now, but I would like to hear you all singing with me. Now Maru is asking me to share one song that that we've been sharing for many years to inspire ideas. But I need to hear that you are really singing with me. So if you are going to protect the planet now, I need you to put your hand like this. And if you are a viewer on YouTube, I cannot see you, but I hope you are doing, put your hand like this. Now, think about what is happening, what is the issue in your country or affecting in young people, and put that issue on your hand, in your mind. Is this plastic? Is this protecting tigers? Is this protecting elephants? Protecting your farms? Bringing more rain? Put the idea here. What is the issue? What is the problem now? And now try to think on one way that you can do to bring a solution. Do you need to talk with elders in your community? Do you need to talk with the community? Can you bring some ideas already? Maybe you already have done something. Can you bring more scouts there? Think about that. Put the idea here. I see many of you on video and I don't see you with the hand here. So put the idea, yes. Put the idea here and now start thinking that this idea is growing. And you can share with me and sing. And repeat after me. Oh,
Oh,
alele,
alele,
alele kitatonga,
alele,
Katonga,
amasa masa masa,
amasa, masa, masa.
oh, aloe, aloe, aloha.
Oh, aloe, aloe, aloe.
So the love that you are putting in your singing is the love that you are putting in your idea of taking care of birds or cleaning your ocean. So let's put more scout spirit, more young people, more partners that you are talking with, the schools. And when we put more of this, then what happens with the idea? The idea grows. And then we sing, oh,
Oh,
alele,
alele,
alele kitatonga,
alele, Katonga.
amasa masa masa.
Amasa, masa.
Oh, aloe, aloe, aloha.
Oh, aloe, aloe, aloe.
So now your idea is not only your idea, is your scout group idea, and you want to bring it to the district. So you need to invite more partners, you need to invite the media, TV, you need to talk about it in radio. And when you do that, what happens with the idea? The idea grows. And then you sing, oh,
Oh,
alele,
alele,
alele kitatonga,
alele, Katonga.
amasa masa masa.
Amasa, masa.
Oh, aloe, aloe, aloha.
Oh, aloe, aloe, aloha.
So this is one way that you can keep inspiring young people. For our viewers in YouTube, we are singing a song that we used to share this with our Cub Scouts, with our Scouts, how your ideas can grow. I'm very grateful with Barrett Scouts and Guides, and I always hope to have the privilege to talk and share with you. Namaste for all your attentions and your work, and thank you for the space to talk about this.
Thank you, ma'am. Thank you, ma'am.
Let us
Now,
give it now to Amavika.
over to Salman.
Thank you, Cynthia, for your inspirational and motivational session. We are very lucky to have you with the new Words of Initiative this morning. Thank you as a very good communicator. I hope our participants have not faced any problem in understanding your session. It was very nice and lively, So as you know, children, Cynthia is known as Iron Lady of Wisdom. So thank you so much, and thank you for your support to the Bharat Scouts and Guides. I would like to inform that this seminar will continue till 28th of this month. So in between, if we feel that this topic is remain, so definitely we will contact you to cover up the topics so that we can deliver the new initiative to our young people for further implementation. Thank you so much for giving a valuable time. We know despite your hectic schedule, you have lots of webinar and you have to attend so many meetings. Despite this, you have taken this pain to spare your more than 2 hours timing with us. Thank you so much, and we really appreciate your wonderful cooperation, and we expect your support and cooperation in future also. Thank you so much, Cynthia, and on behalf of all the participants as well as the Messenger of Peace Team India, as well as the Bharat Scout and Guides National Scout Organization, we are very grateful to you. I would just like to inform you that since you are our boss in the Global Support Center of Messenger of Peace, this webinar is planned and running by the Messenger of Peace regional coordinators, the state coordinators, as well as the local coordinators. And 27 Messenger of Peace coordinators are working day and night for a month to run this seminar. So we are also grateful to all these young people who have taken up this initiative. I would also like to thank our Deputy International Commissioner Scout, Mr. Madhuji, for inspiring us always and guiding us for the successful organization of the seminar. So once again, on behalf of all, we would like to thank Cynthia ma'am, and I would like to hand over to the coordinator of this webinar, Mr. Anlendra Sharma, Assistant Director, Northeast Region.
Thank you very much, sir. As to mention, we are all grateful to Cynthia ma'am for today's session. It is really inspirable to us. And we have a few minutes to now. So we are going to have a look. During this COVID crisis, people all over the world, the Scout people are active, and the Bharat Scout and Guide also, they are working to support the community during this COVID-19. So during this pandemic situation, what our Scout doing, we have a video clips here. I am happy to share with you all. Thank you. These are the lots of activities. Some of the photographs we collect and make the video of that, and we can inspire with any of us. Maybe some young boys and girls, normally whom we are ignored as a small kids. They also can inspire us. So have a look in this video and inspire with the spirit of the young boy.
चांदा पोळी मारू फळयूजी रे खीमा पोळी मारू फळयूजी रे खटमा दुरू मारू फळयूजी रे फेरफदुडी मारू फळयूजी रे ना 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 ना
So thank you to all of you. Today is the third day of this webinar and you are actively participate with us. Thank you to all the viewers at YouTube channel and also the delegates from different states. We are expecting the same cooperation from you in the days to come. And tomorrow it is going to be very interesting for us. The 17th Sustainable Development Goals is going to
लेकिन छुट्टी से 2 मिनट पहले
the 17th Sustainable Development Goal is going to explain us what the director from Ozam appear, Sid Castillo. So I request all of attendees and viewers, please join before 10 minutes to 10 by tomorrow so that we can have a very good interactive session with Sid and we can learn about the sustainable development goals, which is very important in the now. Since we have the set, the by 2030, we want to see the world a different look. So it is our duty of all active citizens to make, fulfill all the SDGs and complete the develop this globe by 2030. So I hope that tomorrow it will be a great day for all of us. I would like to express sincere thanks to Cynthia ma'am and especially our director sir and all the team members from national headquarters and our core team members of this webinar for supporting and make this webinar successful. Thank you to today's MC, Mr. KK and Sharon Raj. Keep it up. We'll look forward for more interactive program in coming days. Thank you. Over to Mr. KK.
Okay, so we have come to the end of our program. If there are any more things or any information reminders to be given, anyone can take the time now, or our meeting is already, our session is already ended.
Yeah, you can close it.
Okay, then once again, thank you everyone, all the panelists, attendees, and all the viewers. Keep the scouting spirit alive, and God bless you. Great hour ahead, everyone. Now you can leave the meeting.